is the Next Level Loan Officers podcast. To learn more about Next Level Loan Officers, go to becomnl.com.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Next Level Loan Officers podcast, the #1 podcast for loan officers by loan officers. I am your host, Sean Zalmanoff, and man, talk about a #1 loan officer. #1 company, top broker in Texas. The accolades go on and on, but we've got the man, Tyler Hodgson. Tyler, how are you today, sir?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on the podcast again.
Repeat offender, as we were talking before. So I know there's like 9 or 12 accolades that I missed. Is there a couple that you want to lay in there too that are top ones that you're passionate about?
I mean, I think the exciting ones is most recently we just announced, I can only remember like 60 days. So in the last 60 days, we made the Inc. 5000 list.
2 years in a row?
Yep. So this is the second year on the Inc. 5000 list. And with that, we're on the Vet 100 list. So veteran-owned companies, they take the Inc. 5000 list and they look at veteran-owned specific companies. So that's a cool achievement for me, obviously, being a veteran.
Well, thank you for your service. You're a Marine, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, awesome. Man, we have a lot to go over today. Tyler, you are crushing it in the broker world. You are crushing it at NXT Mortgage. I mean, it takes a lot to make the Inc. 5000 list, and you've done it 2 years in a row. You have quite a value proposition for your loan officers in Texas. You are recently a coach now at Next Level, as well as can we talk about really something exciting else that you got coming here in the next few weeks?
Yeah, you're talking about my new car? No,
exactly. Yeah.
Talking about
my dad for the first time. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Congratulations. My boys are 6 and 8, and definitely my life changed for the better when I had them. And I'm really glad I can sit here when they're not by me right now and say that, because I don't always think that when they're right by me. I have 2 full-blooded ninjas, and man, they love trying my patience on a daily basis. I'm sure your girl's going to be sweet and perfect and never do any of that to you.
I mean, people say my life's not going to change at all. I mean, I feel like it might change a little bit, but I'm not expecting any major changes.
Cool. We'll go with that, man. Dude, so let's go to the first big thing that just happened, man. You decided to join us on the other side as a coach at Next Level. You've been, is it a full 4 years, or are we just approaching the 4-year mark that you've been part of Next Level?
It would be 4 years, because I first attended the live event in Dallas. July of 2018. So I came out there with our team. I had just started growing a team at that point. Like, I just brought on a couple new loan officers, and the company was just started going from just me, one-man shop, to some new LOs. And the timing just kind of worked up. I saw this event and decided to go. And I decided to sign up for coaching at that time for 2 reasons. Like, 1, for my own personal coaching, and 2, because I wanted to learn how to regurgitate that coaching to the team members on my team. Like, hey, if I want to help coach other people, maybe I should get coaching as well, and build my skills so I can help them build their skills. So I was super honored and excited when you guys asked me to be a coach. Obviously, I've been involved in the group for multiple years, and I feel like I've received a lot from the group and everybody I know, and excited to give back and be able to share with others. And
you're definitely one of the top couple of companies too. You've got a lot of your loan officers plugged in Next Level for you as well too. Man, so let's go back real quick to July of 2018, because the growth you've had has been extraordinarily impressive.
Mm-hmm.
So it was you and there were like 3 or 4 other people in your company at the time.
I want to say there's 6 of us total at
6
that time.
total.
Yep.
Okay. And because I remember you brought the whole crew. Was that the first event?
Yep.
And 4 years and a couple months later, how many people work at NXT now?
Yeah, so we're at 50 now.
Nice.
Personal production went from 4 or 5 loans a month to right now probably averaging about 15. Last year was a little higher. 2020 was a little higher with some refis, but and then company production, went from the same. It was just
4 or 5,
just my loans, 4 or 5, to now averaging 70, 80, over 80 sometimes, trying to get to that 100 loans a month mark. So
I remember when I was growing my region and just working on get that 100, that elusive 100 loan number. Well, first it was 30. I was stuck between that 20 and 30, and that was, again, I was pretty much a branch of one before I started growing a region and get stuck inside of there. And then yeah,
you find you hit these like marks where there's like these thresholds, right? It's like from 1 to 2 loans to like 4 to 5 loans, and then from 4 to 5 to 10, and then the 20 mark. And yeah, I experienced those same kind of like hurdles. You kind of sit at a level for a while, and then you just boom right up off of it. So
yeah, you and I are both runners, you to a much faster extent, but we both like to work out, and it's the same kind of plateaus there, whether it's your mileage distance or your mileage time. It's all of a sudden like you break through something. You're like, dude, a month later, you're like, man, I'm running 4 miles longer without any issues. And it's like, you were just stuck at 6 or 7 miles a run for so long. And yeah, good things. So now that you're a coach, man, what are the couple things that you're most excited about being a coach here at Next Level?
So obviously just being more involved in the community and around the community, but being able to help people, obviously to this point, Next Level, a lot of you coaches are on the retail side. I'm on the broker side. And so being able to provide some value to brokers who are looking to receive coaching, obviously. And, someone who's interested in starting their own broker shop, or they're joining another brokerage, or interested in the broker model, being able to talk about that. And, a lot of my other experiences as well. So outside the mortgage company, like you, I've got a lot of different things going on. I'm a CPA. I have real estate investments, and I'm very passionate about anything just business related, business consulting. So it doesn't even have to be mortgage specific, just business operations in general, things to do with personal finance, passive income. Those are the things I'm passionate about and like to share about. I don't like talking about taxes though, so don't ask me about taxes. Although I'm a CPA, I do not do taxes. I don't like doing taxes. I don't even like my own taxes because they're high.
Yeah, it was it was a great fit for all of those reasons for you to become a coach. And I know people ask me all the time. I think we're probably 35% broker, 65% retail.
Mhm.
Obviously, with the shifting market, I imagine a year from now we'll be a little bit heavier broker than we are right now,
Mhm.
as that's a growing channel. In Next Level, we've always believed the broker channel is great. We believe the retail channel is great. We believe there's incredible purpose for both and what serves people. But man, there's not too many men more qualified to help in this broker world than you are. I mean, you also do some really cool things at NXT. So you're not a full-fledged ESOP, but you do allow people who work with you to earn, grow, buy, gain shares inside of the company. It's a really unique value proposition that you offer. You want to tell the world a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we have a stock ownership plan. All our team members are eligible. There's like a bunch of different ways you can do stock ownership plans. Like you mentioned ESOP. There's complexities there with different types. I mean, there's stock options, there's vesting periods, there's things like that. Well, we're a small company, and back in 2019, I said, hey, I want to do a stock plan. So I talked to some attorneys, got some advice, and started structuring a plan where our team members could have actual legitimate ownership and share in the growth and be invested in the company with me, because I never wanted it to be about just Tyler being, the owner getting all the profits so I could have a private jet. I wanted everyone to be able to share in that value and that long-term vision. So I wanted simplified. I was like, hey, like, let's make it simple. I want it easy to administer, easy to understand. I don't need all the complexities. We're not a, publicly traded Fortune 500 company that's going to have these complex stock structures and vesting. So it's very possible as a small business or a small company to do a stock plan like that and share ownership with your team members. And I think, I feel like that should be a responsibility of the owners to really consider that. But even if you don't own your own company, like if you are a branch somewhere else or a retail LO, and you have a team, like you can still come up, obviously building incentives and getting that buy-in from your team, that ownership mindset from your team is so important. So offering things like profit incentives and goals and targets for achieving certain milestones, like that's a way to kind of build in some of that ownership. But I love having a stock plan because it's legitimate. Like that's true ownership. Like they have voting powers, voting shares. Every share of theirs votes equivalent to mine. Like one.
Oh wow, they're even voting right shares.
One class of shares, yeah. So I didn't get into preferred shares, Series A, Series B, anything like that. We're all the same class of shares. Everyone has the same class of shares I do. I just have more than everybody else, obviously.
Fair, very fair. It's your company, you built it. Let's get a little bit into the whole profit sharing in general. You mentioned what if somebody is a team, and I'd love to share a few ideas because there's nothing better than having everybody on your team vested on a month in and month out basis on what's going on. So a lot of the things that we do with my team and other teams that I help run is that there's thresholds now, and it depends on the size and the market where, somebody might just be getting a loan partner, might get a couple basis points, 2-3 basis points on production. But then when 2.5 million's hit or 3.5 million's hit or 4.5 million, or it might even be tiered all the way up that at 2.5 million, they get an extra 5 basis points from 2.5 to 3.5. And then 3.5, they get 10 basis points, and 4.5, they might get 20 basis points that kick in. And the reason that we have and we've done those accelerated curves, those accelerated bips, because when the months are good, like, man, I want everybody busted in tail on those last 3-4 days of the month to get all those contracts in for the next month, because I want to have great numbers every month. There is a certain amount, fixed amount of numbers that we can all close as loan officers and as our team. And so the more those contracts are pushed out, the less loans that we can close in those coming months. And that allows us close more loans, close them quicker. The number one arch enemy of everything with a real estate contract closing is time. So the quicker we get those closed, time kills deals. And that allows people to be in the game for a shorter amount of time. Get to wow them with our service and impressive abilities to close loans super quick.
Yep.
Which in some markets, like if you have a whole bunch of margin compression in lower markets, lower sales, it's a little bit easier to close quick. But man, what if you can do that when times are booming as well too? And that really allows for some huge paychecks for loan partners month in and month out during those times.
Yeah, I mean, side note on that, you mentioned time kills deals.
Yeah,
I tell all my agents and I train my LOs, like, I want 3-week contracts. Like 3 to 4 weeks is a sweet spot where it's going to be fast enough to where there's not as much, things don't happen to go wrong as often, not too fast. Like you get a 2-week or a 10-day contract, you're like, all right, if any one thing goes wrong or is delayed here, there's going to be an issue. Let me fix my light. All right. But that 3 or 4 week, I feel like is a sweet spot. There's not enough time where the borrower's not messing around, waiting to get docs and rate shopping and all this kind of stuff. It's just like, hey, we got to go. We got 3 weeks. And I feel like those are my smoothest deals. And it could be, beginning of the month and you get through your contract and there you go. Oh, we got another loan for the end of the month. Hey team, let's crush it. Let's close it. Hit that incentive. We got another one for the month. So I think the team likes when those quick contracts come in too, because they're like, oh, we get to see that benefit quickly.
Good, man. You get to feel alive. You and I were talking a couple of weeks ago, like it's just fun to win, man. It's fun to win deals. It's fun to be in the game. Like, being completely removed from the process altogether, it's fine if that's where you want to be, but like, I don't know, man, as a winner, I like to win. So I like to be in it and be able to help people get to that finish line. I like to be better than somebody else. I like to give people an advantage. And it's, I don't know, man, maybe it's weird. Maybe I'm just a sales nerd. I'm definitely some kind of nerd, and it gets me up and gets me excited in the morning.
Yeah.
So let's, now that you're a coach and inside of Next Level here, a couple of questions for you. And let's take the broker, the retail, the anything thing out of it. 4 years ago, you had 6 people on your team. Now you have 50 people on your team. So, whether you're a branch manager, you own your own company, you run a region, anywhere in between, you're a one-man band loan officer right now, and you want to grow a mega team and have just 10 people that all work on your loans. And Tyler, how have you done this? What have been the keys to outside of meeting me, what have been the big keys to your success here?
I think you really have to, you got to have a lot of focus on all the different pieces. You got to understand all the pieces and make sure you're giving attention to all of them. So obviously you've got to be closing loans. You got to be bringing revenue in the door. But you've got to be focusing on those operations and those processes, making sure things are smooth so you can close more loans efficiently. So you do have that good customer experience and that good team member experience. You want your team to be happy. Obviously, I focus a lot on culture and team and really building that family mindset here. We like to do a lot of events, really make it personal with our team, and truly care about them and have those types of incentives, like obviously the stock plan, so that they feel rewarded and passionate about what they're actually doing. And even the little things down to who you're hiring, how you're training and onboarding, all those processes have to be well defined and in place to make things smooth as you're growing more and more team members, and continually training them and continually getting that feedback and constantly learning how to improve. So really, and even today, it's like from 6 to 50 people. I'm still not in what I consider my ideal state, right? We're still going to continue to grow. I'm still improving. I'm still like, okay, here's the pain points in my business. Here's the things I need to focus on in the coming months. And so I think just understanding that it's always a continuous improvement, and you're going to struggle through things at every step of the way, and accepting that and being excited about that. Like you said, you got to be excited and passionate about that. And so I think that's kind of some of the
right now, because that's the mindset of a leader. The things, if in 2022, if you're looking at the things and you're like, man, I'm great, man, everything's in a great spot right now, which they are for you. But if you weren't working on processes, you weren't working on making things better. Like if we just go back to 2018, if you were just doing what you're doing in 2018, now in 2022, man, your great process is mediocre. And the same thing, if we looked forward to 2026, great process is mediocre. It needs continuing refinement, continuing improvements. We have to continue to elevate our game, accelerate through challenges, and win. And, if you're listening to this call and you're like, man, this sounds like something I need a little bit of help with, you could go right over to nlstrategycall.com. You'll get a little bit of time with one of our coaches, find out a little bit more about Next Level, and kind of start to get the process in place for how you can grow your team, whether that's from 1 to 3 or 6 to 50. We have a plan that can help you and really be able to allow you to plug in with a whole lot of other like-minded loan officers, which, as you listen to this, we have a new app that we've just released that is going to be game-changing for the industry. So if you're listening to this podcast right now, you're one of the first people in the country to even hear about it, and many more details to come. But couldn't be more excited about what we have for the people in our next level community and really all of the extended community of loan officers that we're going to be able to help along the way too. Tyler, man, you're just you're a rock star. You're crushing it. One of the other things too that I really like when I wanted to mention about your business, somebody wants to come work with you, you'll hire them as long as they fit your model. Like you don't succumb to like trying to fit the square peg in the NXT hole that doesn't fit, because like I know when you have new loan officers come on, like you're like, great, you're going to process your own loans. You're going to learn what it actually takes to get a mortgage done. So you understand the process from front to back so you can be better when you're going out and selling and doing what it is that you do. And I think that's been one of the biggest keys as I look at you and I see your success. I mean, you've got so many other things that you do, but when you keep rowing in the same direction, people on the ship know what to expect. The people that jump on the ship know what to expect. If they come on and think they can do something else, well, they quickly find out, man, Tyler did exactly what he told me he would do. And well, I guess I'm just going to keep doing that because there's nothing else here to do in that manner. And like, it is the single greatest thing that I see of men and women like you who have success. It's the single greatest failure. I've had a few of those in my life. They've cost me north of six figures a couple of times, where I have tried to fit because I wanted to grow, and I brought on the wrong people. They didn't follow my philosophy. And by the time I unwound it, it wasn't a pretty financial picture. And you know what, man, I really don't talk to those people anymore. And I have to accept 100% responsibility for it because I didn't put the right people in the seats on the bus that I should have from the get-go. And so if there's one thing as you're growing your team, your company, make sure you have a very clear vision. If you go to look at NXT's website and hit Tyler's core values and everything he has in place, everything is super clear. And when you're clear with yourself, you can be clear with everyone else. And then if somebody's like, man, well, it's not what I thought, you're like, did I not live up to my end of the bargain? And then you can really kind of see it was probably them. So you've just done so much right. I don't know if it's the CPA background, the military background, all those things that they coincide with you being a great leader and having something that a lot of CPAs don't have is incredible personal skills as well too. You're a little bit unique, at least for the time being. You've decided to just keep licensed in Texas and grow there. Man, if somebody was interested in finding out a little bit about you or NXT, man, how do they reach out to you?
Yeah, I mean, they can find me obviously on the Next Level page. They can find me in the new app. They can find me on social media, Facebook, Instagram. If you search my name, I'm probably the first one that comes up. So I've got a unique enough last name. But yeah, I mean, you hit it on the head, talking about just really one word that stuck out was identity. So you've got to know your identity and you've got to portray your identity to others and your company and your team's identity. And then you only need to accept people who are going to match that identity and help uphold that identity as well. And that'll help you stay true and be authentic. Like being genuine and authentic, I think is a huge overlooked leadership trait that a lot of people don't have.
A lot of people use those words, but they aren't those words.
Right. Exactly.
And so if you're listening to this and be like, oh man, authentic is an overplayed word, it's only overplayed if you're not true to who you say you are.
Yeah.
Well, Tyler, thank you for joining us today. All of our listeners, people watching us on YouTube or in our new app, thank you for your time. Again, this is the Next Level Loan Officers Podcast, the #1 podcast for LOs by LOs. Appreciate you all today. Tyler, it's always great connecting. Peace out, y'all.
Thanks for having me.